How's your mom and them? This has always been a fine way to greet old friends, especially when you're in a hurry and haven't got much time to really stop and visit. Like if you're coming out of church and you see someone on the other side of the churchyard, you can always throw your hand up and holler, "How's your mom and them?" Of course, they always say, "They're fine, and y'all come around and see us." Other times, when you're not in such a hurry, you can walk over and visit a spell and talk about how's your mom and them. Well, you know Mama, she's getting on up in years, and she's not getting around like she used to before she fell and broke her hip, but she just seems determined to put her garden in again come spring. Lots of times you'll hear folks say, "Well, I sure do love you, Mama, and you be sure and tell her, ask about her now, you hear?" Of course, other times you'll hear folks say, well, I don't know what we're going to do about Mama. She's just getting more and more difficult, and, she's gotten about where she won't listen to anybody about nothing. This thing about Mom and them can sometimes become a real serious problem when you get married. Like, well, since we got married, we don't ever do much together. He's always over at his mama's. Or, it don't seem to make much difference what I say. She's just going to do what her mama says. Or, you're just like my mama, always trying to tell me what to do. This is a bad thing. It will sure get you crossways in a marriage. Just scoot on up here close now and listen, and I'll tell you a little more about this thing about how's your mama and them. Of course, it includes the whole family clan. Nana and Pop and Mom and old Dad. Big brother and little sis, or big sister and little brother. The rich fabric and texture of all the aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews, and all the cousins. Every family clan has that special person who everyone loves because they're so kind and giving, always thoughtful and understanding. And every family clan usually has someone like the prodigal son's older brother. They're so self-righteous, they think they never do anything wrong. It's just a real insult if someone wants them to apologize about something they've said or done. They're just not hardly going to do it. Then you know who I'm talking about. And then almost every family clan has someone who just pure OD mean or weird. I've seen some folks, they'd be dead a week before they hit the ground. If one kind word was between them and heaven, they'd never make it. When my oldest son was 18, I wrote him a letter and told him how proud I was of him and how much I loved him and that I'd raised him the best I could and to please forgive me for all the times I disappointed him. I told him I'd help him any way I could and as much as I could and that he was truly a fine man. I told him I'd pray for him, that he'd always desire God's purpose in his life because he wouldn't be answering to me on the day of judgment. We have two fine sons with a rose in the middle. And one day when baby girl was about 5 years old, she came to me crying like her heart was broken. Her Bubba had informed her that he was not going to be around to take care of her all her life. Like he was the only one in the world that could take care of her anyway. Well, I just held her in my lap until she stopped crying and assured her that I'd take care of her and that Jesus would take care of her and that one day the Lord would give her a wonderful man to love her as a husband, to take care of her. And then she asked me with a lot of concern in her voice, she said, "But Daddy, how will I know when I meet him?" Well, I just told her she didn't have to worry her pretty little head about it, that me and Jesus would know when she met the right man. Well, when baby girl turned 18, I wrote her the same letter I'd written to her Bubba, but I added that in addition to her being a fine, lovely woman, I prayed that mostly she would just trust the Lord for who he had for her as a husband and that she would just love him with all her heart. An old sports model isn't more than a hoot and a holler behind, so it won't be long before I'll be writing the same kind of letter to him. He's coming on up to be a fine man. Tell you what you might want to do. Just might want to write one of these letters to your adult children when they turn 18. And of course, it's never too late because, there's just a lot to this thing about Mom.